Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Ohio.
The Indians are hot, climbing over the 500 mark for the first time since the first week of the season. They've won 6 straight, their longest winning streak since early in the 2011 season. And in all 6 wins, they've worn the blue jerseys. Why mess with success? The blue jerseys are back again on Cinco de Mayo. Hang on! It's all next on Sports Time Ohio. From the home of the hottest team in baseball, Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, as the Indians try to run their win streak to 7 in a row. They've got the brooms out trying to sweep the Minnesota Twins. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. During this current Indians win streak, they've gotten great starting pitching, but the offense really has been the biggest story because they're hitting them in all different facets. Long ball, little ball, you name it, they're getting runs home.
It's been a total team concept, and they've been getting the lead early and just been adding on. And you go from 1 to 9, I believe every spot in that lineup is hitting above 300. It's something that you rarely see, but in the last 6 games, they have been on fire. They've hit the long ball, they've hit the doubles, they've moved the runners, they've done whatever they had to do, and they've scored with 2 outs. 31 of their 53 runs have come with 2 outs. The starting pitching has been very good, and with that, the defense has been good. Only 1 error, so everything that they're doing right now is right.
Their batting average with 2 outs during the win streak is .442. So they are mashing in every sense of the word. Well, we'll see if they can continue here today and sweep the Minnesota Twins. It's Corey Kluber on the hill. Hasn't walked a batter. He struck out 11 in his 12 innings of work. He'll try to continue to attack the Twins as the Indians try to put the broom to their friends from Minnesota. Come on back. Beautiful Sunday afternoon in downtown Cleveland. The Indians and the Minnesota Twins wrapping up the 3-game series. The Tribe trying to run their win streak to 7 in a row. They've won 9 of their last 12, a game over 500 at 14-13 now on the year. On the hill today for the Indians is Corey Kluber, and let's take a look at the right-hander. The lineup that the right-hander will be facing today for Ron Gardenhire's Minnesota Twins. Jamie Carroll, the 39-year-old, getting the start and leading it off, followed by Joe Mauer and then Josh Willingham. Justin Morneau, 5th all-time, and runs batted in for the Twins will hit cleanup. Then Chris Parmalee, followed by Trevor Plouffe. Oswaldo Arcia, Aaron Hicks, and Eduardo Escobar rounded out.
27-year-old Corey Kluber will make his second start this year. In his last start, it was game 2 of the doubleheader. The Indians got smoked in the first one, 9-zip, but they haven't lost since. Kluber went out there, went 7 innings in a 10-3 victory, and they gained a split in that doubleheader, and they have been riding high ever since. Let's take a look at the Kia Indians defense behind Kluber this afternoon. It looks like this. Brantley in left, Stubbs in center, Rayburn in right, Chisenhall at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis is at second, Reynolds at first, Santana behind the plate. Michael Brantley, 120-game errorless streak. Very nice.
Mike Winters calling the balls and strikes. He's the crew chief. Then Mark Wegner at first, Laz Diaz at second, Tim Timmons down at third. Jamie Carroll takes a first pitch strike.
That's one thing that Kluber has been doing, pounding the strike zone, hasn't walked anybody, struck out 11.
Up high to even the count. Jamie Carroll, in the games that he has started, has hit well, 7 for 22. That's a good .318 average. Checks, it's a called strike.
You remember when they signed Jamie last year, he was forced into play almost every day.
Yeah.
And that's not the way they envisioned that. He's a guy that can come off the bench at his age a couple of times a week and really help you out. And hopefully they can do that with him this year.
The 1-2. Right back up the middle, and it's through, a base hit. So Jamie Carroll is aboard to start the game for Minnesota.
Yeah, scrapper and a battler. Jamie Carroll always has been.
Our keys to the game this afternoon: 6 innings from the starter equals success. It's been a good formula for the Tribe during their win streak. And try to win early. They've been very good in the first 3 innings when it comes to outscoring the opposition.
You know, when you put down the keys, you can use the same one for the last 6 games. They score early. They've been getting solid pitching, good defense. Everything has been good in the 6 games.
They've outscored their opponents 21-4 in the first 3 innings during this win streak. So you're playing from in front almost every night. Joe Mauer, 2 for 9 in the series. He's been very frustrated at the plate offensively. Just 3 hits in his last 32 at-bats.
Well, that's one of the keys to get the Minnesota Twins is control Mauer and Morneau. And they have done that very well in the series. Between the two of them, 3 for 16. They've scored a couple runs, but only driven in 1. They walked twice, so the Cleveland pitching's done a nice job to the big boys.
Now the 0-2. Got him looking. So Mauer rung up again. He was called out on strikes yesterday.
Well, Kluber has a slider and a curveball. You'll see this pitch right on the outside edge. That's a really nice-looking pitch. Looked like the curveball to me going down on the outside edge, and Mauer takes it. Out number 1. Nice slow-mo cam.
Yeah.
Very nice. You see the rotation on the ball.
Josh Willingham with 1-on-1 out. He looks at a fastball for a strike. Might have been a cutter over the outside part of the plate. Willingham, 1 for 4 in the series with a double. He's reached base safely in 21 out of the 23 games that he has started. Swing and a miss. Snap throw to first, but Carroll back with a dive. Count quickly 0-2 on Willingham. Just underway on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. 66 degrees at game time. Just a whisper of a breeze blowing out. Bounce to third. Chisenhall to second. There's one. Kipnis turns the double play. Tribe turns two. Minnesota does not score. The Indians are coming to bed. Take a look at Terry Francona's starting lineup presented by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Michael Brantley leading it off, then Jason Kipnis, followed by Asdrubal Cabrera, then Nick Swisher, Mark Reynolds, Carlos Santana, Ryan Rayburn, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Drew Stubbs.
29-year-old Mike Pelfrey on the mound signed a one-year deal with the Twins back in December. And, you know, it's amazing he's out there because he had Tommy John surgery about a year ago. May 1st, he had the surgery from James Andrews. And he's back there pitching again. He has struggled this year. He's 2-3. And he's given up a lot of hits. You know, for innings pitched, he's averaged 2 base runners an inning in his 22 and a third innings.
Brantley takes a called strike. It's 0-2.
But he has been a guy that has kept the ball in the ballpark. Although he pitched against the Tigers in his last start, gave up his first 2 home runs of the year. He doesn't give up many. Ground ball pitcher, so to speak.
Two-strike pitch. Just missed inside. Try to run it back over the inside corner. And the 1-2's bounced toward first. And a flip over for out number 1.
Said the Twins defense behind Pelfrey today. In the outfield from left to right, it's going to be Willingham, Hicks, and Arcia. On the infield, Plouffe at third, Escobar at short, Carroll at second, Parmalee is at first with Maurer behind the plate. Twins have been very good defensively. No errors in their last 7 games. 13 on the year.
That'll bring up Jason Kipnis. Swinging a very hot bat. Fouled back out of play. Jason, 5 for 9 in the series. 2 triples, a homer, and 6 runs batted in. Out of play again. No balls, 2 strikes.
Pelfrey, 6'7", 250 pounds.
Lays off the breaking ball. Now the 1-2. And again, fouled out of play.
Tell you what, this guy's throwing strikes. He comes right out. 6 of his 8 pitches have hit the zone. He's not messing around. And it looks like he's trying to stay inside to the left-handed hitters, which is a pretty good deal the way these guys have been swinging the bats.
The 1-2 pitch. Down low with it, and the count evens up at 2-2. Another foul right back. It is pretty amazing when you think about it that May 2nd, so almost 1 calendar year ago, he had that Tommy John surgery. And the one thing we know about that surgery is coming back, the last thing that you get back is your command, which is almost all of pitching when you come right down to it.
Yeah, that's a quick return, and everybody's different.
Popped up. And the third baseman, Plouffe, makes the catch with Escobar zooming in behind him. 2 down. There's our stat of the game, brought to you by your Northern Ohio Buick dealers. In their 6-game win streak, the Indians have scored 6 or more each time. First time they've done that since '05. 12 or more hits in 6 straight games. They haven't done that since 1936.
Wow. Well, you know, think about it. 12 hits in 6 straight games. That's hard to do.
Well, they had 14 or more in what, 3
4
straight? 4
I think it was
straight
4.
games.
Then they had 13. So, yeah, you figure you're going to run into a buzzsaw sooner or later.
As Dribble Cabrera faked the bunt, took a ball. 1 for 7 with a double in the series for Cabrera. As Dribble had a 10-game hitting streak, looked like he was ready to really take off. But he's been cooled off in this series. Indians had optional batting practice before the game today, and Cabrera was out there taking some swings, trying to fine-tune it. Outside with it, 2 balls and a strike.
You know, nowadays when you say optional, even if you don't hit, they're hitting in the cage. You know, if you come out to the field, most of those guys are hitting in the cage anyway, every single day.
Cabrera pops one in the air pretty well to right, but playable for Arcia. Tribe goes 1-2-3. We are scoreless after 1. Premium McWrap. Try one today. And by Kia. Second inning here at Progressive Field. Lots of kids out here at the ballpark enjoying the sunshine this afternoon. No score as the Twins will send the heart of their lineup to the plate here. Justin Morneau, Chris Parmalee, and Trevor Plouffe. Justin Morneau, the Twins DH. Corey Kluber delivers a first pitch strike. We were talking the other day, might have been yesterday, about superstition. The Indians wearing the blue jerseys. You know, you ride the win streak. And what's the difference between, routine and superstition sometimes? Justin Morneau believes in superstition. According to a story that Buster Olney wrote about him several years ago, when he was a kid, his idol was Patrick Waugh. And when he was playing hockey, he would not get out of the car to go into the hockey rink for a game until 6:33 on the clock, because that was Patrick Waugh's number. And that was his tribute to Patrick Waugh. And his teammates would be in there on the ice waiting for him. He'd have to sit in the car until precisely 6:33.
Wow. Now that's superstition.
That's superstition,
yes,
I think.
It is. That's getting carried away, I think. But it's all what you believe.
Hard bouncer to first. Mark Reynolds will take it himself. One away. We know Katie Witham is not superstitious, so let's send it downstairs and see what she's got on Corey Kluber.
Well, Matt, this, the first time we saw Corey Kluber was actually out of the bullpen. Then he dealt with 2 rainouts, and then it was an early start, a day ahead of schedule in Game 2 of that doubleheader in Kansas City. So today's start is actually his first one on usual rest, which is a big deal for a guy like Kluber, who's very routine organized, prepared. The key for him today, Ricky kind of mentioned it, establish that fastball command and then pitch those off speeds off of that fastball.
Well, anytime you're a starting pitcher, you want to get on your routine and your rest. And it's going to make you sharper. It's just that poor guy, the cloud has followed him every time he's been scheduled to pitch this year. It was once against the Yankees, as a matter of fact, and then the second time was against the White Sox, April 10th and then April 24th.
He said when he started against Kansas City, he said, I expected it to rain. It's become the mentality.
He probably got up today looking in the sky as nice as it's been here at this whole homestand and said, what is that orange thing in the sky? Well, good for him. He pitched a nice game his last outing, and his first win came in 4 innings relief in Houston.
Missed again, just a bit outside, 3-0 to Parmalee.
For Kluber, this is his 4th start against the Twins, all 3 coming last year.
They walked him on 4 straight. That's his first walk that he has issued this year in 13 innings of work.
Well, MLB.com At Bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Indians baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit Indians.com.
Inside, off the glove of Santana, and all the way to the backstop, and down to second goes Parmalee. That's a passed ball on Santana. It had movement on it, but...
Well, that's a ball he's got to catch. He got a little lazy on that ball. And I don't think he may have been crossed up. That's why he's going out to talk to him. I don't know, but there's only one sign you put down with nobody on second base, so not sure what happened there, but it's a ball that should have been caught.
So the Twins get a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Trevor Plouffe has swung the bat pretty well in the series, 3 for 9. He has doubled and he has homered.
Plouffe has always seemed to hold his own against us when he's played against us, the times we have seen him.
Another Southern California product. Kluber with a 1-1. Swung on and missed.
Nice little cutter there. Let's check it out on our Nissan pitch tracker. A little cut fastball, it looked like, down and away. Look at that ball. That one went down almost like a slider.
Yeah,
maybe.
sure did.
He has a cutter as well that he really likes to throw, but that usually slides across. That might have been just a slider.
Two balls and two strikes. Now Kluber delivers and Plouffe crushes it to deep left field. Brantley looking up, and it's gone. And Minnesota jumps out to the 2-0 lead here on the 4th home run of the year, 2nd of the series by Trevor Plouffe.
It was an off-speed pitch from Kluber. He gives up his first home run as well as his first walk in the same inning. Let's take a look at that pitch again. It's a curveball that he left right there, middle of the plate. He didn't get it down, and you can tell by his reaction that he wasn't happy where that pitch went, and you can see what happens. Plouffe again comes up. Minnesota will play from in front today on the final game of this series. Plouffe hits his 4th, gets his 6th and 7th RBI.
Now Oswaldo Arcia. He drives one foul deep down the line and way out of play.
This guy.
Oh, the Budweiser patio. That young lady's ducking for cover. A little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Oswaldo Arcia, signed at 16 years old by the Twins out of Venezuela. Strike 3 called. Got him looking. 2 down. Second called, 3rd strike for Kluber here today.
Comes again with that breaking ball on the outside corner, backdoor variety. Either the cutter or the slider. Not quite sure what it is. Let's see. Looks like maybe a cutter. But it is in an excellent location. Gets a 2nd strikeout. Both of them have been called on the same pitch to the left-handers. Once to Mauer. That one right there to Arcia.
Pitch outside for ball 1. Chop to first. Reynolds has it, takes it himself, and the inning is over. But Minnesota takes the lead on Trevor Plouffe's 2-run homer here in the 2nd. Bottom of the second inning. For the Indians, Nick Swisher, Mark Reynolds, and Carlos Santana coming up. Fastball called a strike. Looked like it might have been a bit high. Nick took a little time checking that pitch out. Now that's called a strike as well. Nick Swisher saying, all right, now wait a minute. It's now 0-2. You get in the top of the strike zone and the bottom of the strike zone, and could be a long day. Pelfrey, the wide on the 2-strike pitch. And he strikes him out.
Stayed with the hard stuff and stayed upstairs. Gets his first strikeout.
Our injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk Serious Lawyers for Serious Injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Vinny Pistano day to day with a little right elbow soreness. And Michael Bourne getting ready to start a rehab assignment, which could put him back on the field very soon. Brett Myers is on a throwing program, still a couple of weeks away from a potential return for the right-hander. So a lot going on. And as you said before, the Indians really, not since day one, if you consider Scott Kazmir went down right before the start of the season.
Yeah, the day before.
They haven't really been at full strength as a team yet this year.
They've played short all month. And not just necessarily on the disabled list. A lot of times throughout the course of the month, they've had guys that were dinged up that couldn't play for 2 or 3 days that didn't go on the disabled list, and they didn't replace them. So they have really treaded water very well for that situation, I think.
Reynolds 3 for 8 in the series with a homer. And the count evens at 2-2.
I tell you, for a big guy, he's 6'7". He's pretty smooth delivery. You know, he's not herky jerky, not all arms and legs. He's very smooth, very deliberate, and he has been pounding the strike zone.
That's low and away, and a full count. Well, there was a case where it looked like he pulled his arm across his body, and sometimes when you are a big guy, those mechanics do have to line up.
Yeah, when you look at his numbers, though, so far this year, you're almost in shock.
He walks Reynolds with 1 out here in the second. We mentioned the Vinny Pistano listed as day-to-day for the Indians. With more on that, here's Katie.
Well, Matt, I spoke with Vinny earlier today. We knew that he threw off the mound in a bullpen yesterday. Today, he was out there when I was walking into the ballpark throwing up to 120 feet flat ground so they could see his arm extension. He told me he felt pretty good. Well, I walked into the clubhouse with Terry Francona, who told me the key is to see how he feels tonight. If he still feels as good as what he did earlier today tonight, we could see him back in the bullpen and available tomorrow.
So once again, you're a little short-handed.
Yeah.
Which is why the Indians made a move before today's game to help out in that department. Ezekiel Carrera was designated for assignment, and the Indians added Scott Barnes, so they got an extra arm in the bullpen. Carlos Santana just 1 for 8 in the series. Twins have pitched well against him. And maybe for one of the first times all season long, we've seen Santana just a bit overly aggressive in this series. When he's going well, he'll sit back and he will wait and he will just unload. But a couple of times in this series, it looks like they've had him maybe out front.
Caught in between?
Yeah.
Well, you can't stay as hot as he was. You know, I mean, he was going so well. You expect
mean he wasn't
him
going
to
to hit 400?
Well, yeah, he was hitting around 380, 390, and you expect him to. No, I mean, he struck out 3 times in one game. I understand. Sooner or later, you know, you lose a little edge, and then you fight your way to get it back. And it starts with little things. And the thing of it is, you know, when he gets into counts like this, we'll see what they throw him because he's a dead red hitter. And I don't think he's seen a lot of fastball for strikes. I think they attack him with off-speed pitches, change-ups, breaking balls to make him hit those pitches. See, in a 2-1 count, what they throw here, I'm going to guess it's an off-speed pitch.
That looked like a
fastball. Good fastball away. They sure did. And you know what? You're not going to hit it anyway because it's on the outside edge. That's where a pitcher, when a pitcher is down in the count, 2-0, 3-1, you know, in a hitter's count, that's your bread and butter. If you can go to that, go ahead. Good fastball away. If he wants to try and hit it, God bless him. If he gets a base hit, that's fine. You tip your cap to him.
Now the 2-2. Got him looking. And he might have been guessing something else because that was a fastball right there.
Well, yeah, he didn't guess right in that at bat, that's for sure. Watch this comebacker. Inside edge. That's the one that we talked about Zach McAllister throwing now. And pretty good pitch there by Pelfrey to get Santana. He didn't think it was coming back, but it certainly did.
2 down now for Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn drives it deep left field. Willingham over near the line makes a running catch. And that'll end the inning. Nice play by Willingham. After 2, it's the Twins 2 and the Indians nothing. On this afternoon to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Eduardo Escobar will lead off this 3rd inning for Minnesota on Cinco de Mayo here at the ballpark, huh? Guys have come out ready to celebrate.
Why not? Cinco de Mayo. That's I always remember Cinco de Mayo for Charlie Nagy's birthday.
Eduardo Escobar sends one to fairly deep right field, and Ryan Rayburn makes the over-the-shoulder catch for out number 1. That's a good trivia question. Charlie,
yeah.
When is Charlie Nagy's birthday?
Right.
Here's the AT&T trivia question. 3 active players have won 2 or more batting titles. Who are they? 3 active players have 2 or more batting titles. Now Jamie Carroll with one out here in the third. He led off the game with a base hit. How old is Jamie Carroll? Well, at 39 years old, he was drafted by a team that doesn't exist anymore, the Montreal Expos. 14th round pick back in 1996 out of the University of Evansville in Indiana. I can't imagine when he was drafted out of Evansville that many would have seen him playing as long as he has. But
no, he's a tough guy, not a very big in stature, but I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of heart. Plays the game the way it should be.
Back to the mound, and Kluber short hops Reynolds, who holds on for out number 2. Yeah, he's done it the right way. He's played the game hard.
Yes, he has. Well, you want to catch 2 games for the price of 1. That'll all take place next Monday, May 13th. The Tribe will make up and play a traditional doubleheader against the Yankees. First pitch will be at 12:05. And 1 ticket is good for, that's right, both games. So log on to Indians.com for your tickets. Makeup day, they're going to honor Mariano Rivera in between games. It should be a lot of fun.
Swung on and missed by Joe Mauer, who was called out on strikes in his first at-bat. And Mauer yesterday was also called out on strikes in his last at-bat by home plate umpire Tim Timmons. And after that at-bat yesterday, Mauer, it's not that he argued, he just let Timmons know that he felt the third strike was outside. He didn't feel it was on the plate. Mauer was asked about that after the game, and he said, it's not the first time I've done it. You have conversations with umpires, and being a catcher, I have a lot of those. I just had to tell him, hey, that ball was outside. At least that was what he thought.
You don't see a guy doing it when he has the mask on and the equipment, when you're behind the plate asking for pitches around the plate. Yes, you do. You don't show him up. You have a way of talking to him about it. He didn't get run, and obviously there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, and I have to believe that as a catcher, you build up enough rapport where you know what you can do and what you can't do.
But you know that umpire probably better than most people do, so
right.
You know his strike zone. And, he may not call that one all day long, and all of a sudden you come up there and he calls it on you. You say, wait a minute, you haven't been calling that all day for my guy. Yep. So why are you going to call that against me?
This was yesterday.
There you go. And that guy, he knows the strike zone about as well as anybody, or at least he gets the calls because he's earned the right. But that's no big deal. I think that's fine.
Pitch is up high, and Mauer draws a walk here, so his patience pays off with 2 outs in the third, even though he was down on the count early. Yeah, if you do that and you're demonstrative and your hands are flying in the air, then you're probably going to get run. Well, then you're showing the umpire up.
You don't show them up. You treat them with respect, and you say your piece and you move on, and they'll let you go. And he did it the right way, and there's not one thing wrong with that.
Josh Willingham with 2 outs takes a look. It's outside. Kluber has walked 2 here today. He walked Parmalee ahead of the 2-run homer by Trevor Plouffe in the second. The ironic thing about that is we were just talking the other day, and I don't remember the pitcher, but it was an opposing pitcher, somebody that hadn't walked many batters, and yet, sure enough, he walked a guy, and the guy comes around to score.
Yeah.
And here's Corey Kluber hasn't walked a guy in his first 13 innings. The first guy he walks comes around to score on him.
Well, that's what happens. And you try. You're going to walk guys, but you try your best to make them swing the bat, stay aggressive.
Now the 2-1. Back out of play. You know who I think it was? I think it was Cliff Lee we were talking about the other day.
Gave up the 2. It was.
He doesn't walk
against
anybody.
Philadelphia. That's when we hit the 7 home runs.
Yep. And he walks a couple of guys, and they come around and score.
The 2
against him.
guys, that's right. He walked. They came in on 2-run homers. That's exactly who it was.
Now Corey has run the string out with Willingham, so Maurer will take off on the 3-2 pitch here. And the payoff is grounded routinely to short. Cabrera throws across, and the side is retired. Middle of the third. It's Minnesota 2 and Cleveland nothing. Bottom of the third inning, Lonnie Chisenhall, Drew Stubbs, Michael Brantley coming up for the Tribe. Lonnie Chisenhall so far 1 for 3 in the series. Nice day just about anywhere you're sitting. Those folks out in the bleacher enjoying it.
It's a nice day no matter what you're doing. I have a feeling a lot of folks may be out planting flowers and doing some yard work today.
Could
on
be.
a Sunday afternoon, on a sunny day.
Mike Steggy told me he was planting trees yesterday.
Well, Mike wasn't. He may have been cutting them down. I know he wasn't planting them.
Now, come on now. Here's the 1-0 pitch.
Planting, come on.
Chisenhall slicing it out of play. He chopped down the cherry tree a long time ago.
Yes, he did. Planting trees. Was Tony helping him?
No. Belfry, very deliberate windup, the 1-1, and again it's fouled out of play.
I'm waiting to get a text here in a minute. It's just a matter of time.
There's the wind and the 1-2 pitch. Tell you what, the traveling secretaries around baseball probably going to really earn their money this year because of all the rainouts and
makeups,
scheduling.
Yeah, they earn their money every year when it comes to travel. But you're right, this year seems like it's going to be a little more because there were about 20 rainouts in April,
20
correct?
plus, I think we're over, yeah. Chisenhall jammed, rolls it over towards second. Carroll, quick flip. Chisenhall beats it out.
All right, he got down the line pretty well.
Good.
I didn't think he was going to get there, but by the time Carroll, he did everything in his power to get to the ball and underhand it, but Chisenhall beats it out.
It's good hustle.
Well, those hitters, they smell hits, boy, and they get that extra gear sometimes. He just hesitated a little bit. A lot of times some guys would just flip it out of the glove. Yeah, shovel it. Instead, he's looking at it all the way. He was watching that play every step of the way down the line. That'll go as an infield single, and that's the first hit for the Tribe today.
Hard-earned hit for Lonnie Chisenhall, but he's aboard to start the third now. And Drew Stubbs coming up. He's been on a pretty good tear offensively. He's bumped his average up to .283. His last 4 hits have all been doubles.
Well, they take another double right here.
Our Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. The Indians just 1 homer fewer than the Yankees.
Wow, they're up there with the big boys in the East as far as homers go. And you look at this team, and you don't look at them that way where they're big boppers, but they can hit them.
There's a fly ball to deep right field. Arcia onto the track, pulls it down for out number 1.
That's still a pretty good swing for Stubbs. He's been concentrating on going that way. He's hit it well. Nothing to show for it.
Top of the order now, Michael Brantley. Snap throw, and Lonnie back in time. Mike Pelfrey went to Wichita Heights High School in Kansas. And the Tampa Bay, at that time, Devil Rays drafted him out of high school in the 15th round, but he passed and decided to go to Wichita State. And with the Shockers as a junior, he went 12-3 and had 143 strikeouts in 140 innings, and that helped him become a first-round pick of the New York Mets.
Wichita State, huh? Shocker.
Yeah. Mauer goes out to talk. One-on-one out here in the third. One-0 pitch. A little bit outside. You know, as well as the Indians have been playing here, 6 straight wins, the Tigers and the Royals have also each won 3 in a row. So the Tribe still sits 3 games back in the standings. Kansas City's a half game back of front-running Detroit.
I'm surprised Kansas City has been able to play 3 in a row the way their luck has gone.
Well, that 3-game win streak might span 8 or 9 days. I'm not sure.
Right.
High pop on the infield. Tough sun play.
Halfway.
Escobar makes the catch. 2 down. Here's our great clip of the game from yesterday. Jason Kipnis, a homer in his first at bat, and then his second triple of the series. Jason has 6 ribbies in this series to go along with 5 hits. Relax, you're at Great Clips. Tried to hold up, but he went around.
There you see, tried to check it, couldn't do it. That hard slider down and in.
Pelfrey deals, and a breaking ball is outside. 1-1 to count. Oakland A's will be here tomorrow to start a 4-game series. A's-Yankees scoreless in the third in New York. The 1-1 bounce towards second base. Carroll goes to first, and the inning is over. 3 complete. It's the Twins 2 and the Indians nothing. Two 2-0 Minnesota, 4th inning. Justin Morneau, Chris Parmalee, and Trevor Plouffe for the Twins. Chopper into the teeth of the shift. Kipnis from the outfield grass throws him out, 1 away. Now the Indians have won 6 straight, all while wearing the blue jerseys, and they continue to wear them here today. Let's go down and see what Katie has more on that.
Well, guys, blues until we lose was the text that Mark Shapiro sent the clubhouse. But it's interesting. I actually spoke with him earlier, and the message started a little lower on the chain with Joe Smith and some of the bullpen guys talking to Mark's son, Caden. They said, hey, help us out. If we win tonight, which was last night, can you say something to your dad for us? Well, he did. He actually smiled at Joe and said, I'll handle it. I saw Mark on the field today, and he goes, oh, yeah, the message came from Caden. And as much as Mark loves the Sunday cream uniforms, it will be blue until they lose from now on.
Okay. Well, they know how to get to him then, I guess.
That's right.
That's not a bad way. That's like a kid,
Go
man.
through the sun.
Hey, send that guy over there, get to dad.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I mean, why not? You're hot with them. They started to score. It's been a 6-gamer, and it's been awfully good. It's been all offense. You have to try something different every now and then.
Check the swing, but I think he went around. Yes, he did. Third base umpire Tim Timmons said you went too far. That's 3 strikeouts for Corey Kluber, 2 down in the 4th.
High heater. Let her high. He felt that he kept his hands back. There's a better look at it, and close enough to where they called it. We've seen it go both ways.
And now Trevor Plouffe, whose big swing in the second has accounted for the only runs of this game.
If they ever want to do that again, we'll wear the cream color up here if they want to wear the blue.
It's a 6-pitch inning for Corey Kluber as the Twins go 1-2-3.
Friday, May 17th, the Seattle Mariners will be in town. You can load up on Sugardale hot dogs all night long for $1. Log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
Now is Dribble Cabrera leading off, drives one deep left field. Willingham can't get it, short hops the wall. And it bounces over top of him, and Cabrera strolls into second base with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Good piece of hitting there by Cabrera. Stayed with it, went the other way, and with some power.
He took a long look at that ball thinking, I hit that pretty good. It better get over his head. He stayed on it. That ball was sinking away. Look at him. He stayed on it nicely. It started slicing going down the line, but he was looking all the way, and Willingham's not going to get to it. Cabrera will come in for his 7th double. That's the 2nd straight inning now they've been able to get their leadoff man aboard. See if they can take advantage of it this inning.
Well, so far on the year, the Indians have hit .293 with runners in scoring position. And Nick Swisher fouls the first pitch out of play.
Well, you see, they're getting aggressive here at that second time through the lineup now because he threw so many strikes early. So they're not going to spot him that first pitch strike this time around, it doesn't look like.
Inside. Brushed him back with it, 1-1.
Well, that's good on the pitcher. He's making an adjustment. You guys want to get comfortable in there and swing first pitch? I'm going to move you out of your toe hold. And he does just that. That's a good pitch on his part.
Low and away. You almost could predict that, right?
Well, then tries to go down and away. He did the opposite. Who was it on Santana last at bat? 2-1 pitch. He went fastball down and away, a perfect pitch, and then buzzed him and struck him out on the inside corner. So he just missed with that pitch. Now Swisher has the count in his favor.
Oh, he had a good one to hit. Fouled it right back. Got a piece of Mauer and then went back up against the screen. Looked like a foul tip caught him right on the forearm on his glove hand.
Oh, it did. It got him on the bare arm. You're right. You know, you look at the numbers on Pelfrey this year, you would say the way the Indians are hitting and the way this guy was coming into the game, he has no chance. He was averaging almost 20 pitches per inning. 2 base runners per inning. Left-handers were hitting 395, righties 328. He had allowed 12 extra base hits. And when he had 2 strikes on a batter, they were hitting 311. So,
wow.
I mean,
311 with a 2-strike count.
2 strikes. So, I mean, you look at those numbers, you figure this guy doesn't have a chance, but I'll tell you what, he's battled, he's pitched really well.
And he gets Swisher. And that's the second time he has struck out the Indians' cleanup man today. 1 down here in the 4th. Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, the latest on Vinny Pistano's elbow issues. Find out about the Kentucky native that won the Derby. And check out Fox Sports Game Connect. Get complete coverage of Ohio sports action on FoxSportsOhio.com. With 1 out, Mark Reynolds coming to the plate. He walked his first time up. Reynolds has been great in the clutch. He's hitting .387 with runners in scoring position on the year. Cabrera, huge jump, throw to third, and didn't get him. He missed the tag.
That's a huge break.
Oh, man. The Indians do indeed catch a break. Ron Gardenhire's going to come out to argue as Trevor Plouffe gets the explanation from third base umpire Tim Timmons. It looked like the throw and the tag were there, but obviously he missed him.
We saw that here at second base earlier in this homestand where the umpires are staying with the call where the guy pulls back the arm and you sneak the other one in. I was getting ready to rip Cabrera for trying to steal third base with Reynolds at the plate. Your leading RBI guy, I'm saying, what are you doing? Let the guy swing the bat. But it's a good thing he's called safe. The ball beats him. And he does.
He threw
it
down on the dirt.
You throw it down on the dirt, and as a base runner, Matt, when you're going in there, and I've done this before, you're going head first, you know the ball beats you. He's throwing that glove down. You just pull the arm back, which he does. See, he dug it in, and he pulls it back, and the right arm gets to the base. So give the umpire credit for making that call. It's easy to ring him up and say you're out because what's the base runner going to say? He never tagged me? Well, I'll tell you what, the umpire stayed with it, and it's a good thing for Asdrubal he did.
And now Mark Reynolds with an RBI opportunity here if he can get him home from third to get the Indians on the board. Inside he missed 2-0. Rick, for so long, the adage was if the ball beats you, you're going to be called out, even if they don't apply the tag.
Right.
Almost seems maybe we're seeing a shift in the umpiring perspective on that. Just like, hey, make them tag the guy out.
I won't disagree with that because we've seen it a number
twice
of times.
now.
Well, twice in this homestand.
At least, yeah.
And I think we've seen it earlier in the year on the road. Yeah, that's right. We saw it when we were in Chicago with Alexei Ramirez. So you might be right. They're watching it. The play follow through. So what you're going to see, and if I was a defensive player now at third base and the guys come.
Drop the knee down?
Drop the knees down, block the bag, and they've got no place to go but slide into you. Now, if they come spike first, it's a different story. You get out of the way.
Reynolds checks. No. It's low. 3-1.
But, yeah, guy wants to come in head first. Go ahead and drop your knees on him. He checked it. He's looking for a pitch he can drive here in this situation. And the way they're pitching to him, it looks like Minnesota saying, I don't want this guy to beat us. You know, he may have a history against these guys with Baltimore as well.
He swung away, and he came up empty, full count.
It's all right. Had a good pitch to hit. He got himself a 3-1 fastball. He let it go. He just missed it. And you see it's just elevated enough. Belfry's got away with a few fastballs. He was able to get Swisher twice today on the elevated fastball. He gets one by him. I would not be surprised to see the same pitch, maybe a little bit higher.
The payoff. Then he got a piece.
Came back with a slider, and he battled and fouled it off.
Seems like with Reynolds, if he's not hitting one 10 miles to left field, he's taking the ball up the middle for a lot of singles. A lot of base hits straight back up the middle.
Well, they're giving you an RBI here with one out, a ground ball. Just put the ball in play to the most part, as long as it's not to the pitcher, and you score.
Again, the 3-2. And it's fouled back out of play. So he stays alive.
You know, we talked about it. He's done that kind of job this year. That's why he has 25 RBIs coming into it. Sure, he hits the long ball and gets them, but a couple of times yesterday, 2 base hits up the middle with 2 strikes. 1 driving in a run with 2 outs.
Mark is tied for the league lead in homers. 5th in runs batted in. Pelfrey delivers. And he hits a high drive deep to center. Back is Hicks onto the track. He'll make the catch. Tagging at third, coming home to score is Cabrera. And Mark Reynolds has his 26th run batted in on the year as the Indians get on the board and cut the Twins' lead in half at 2-1.
Well, I've got to say it. The stolen base pays off. So you credit Cabrera, even though he was out. But Reynolds gets his high fastball or high breaking ball. And he's able to get enough of it deep to center field, gets the run home. RBI number 26, cuts the lead in half, 2-1 ball game.
Carlos Santana called out on strikes his first time up. He's had a tough series, going 1 for 9. Pitches inside, moved him off the plate with the breaking ball. 2-1. Inside with a fastball. 3-1. Broke his bat, but he slugs it up the middle anyway. The barrel ended up past the pitcher.
Well, that's what he's got to do. He's got to get rid of that bat, but it goes down on a good note. Look at the barrel. That thing split. Half of that bat, and it's all the barrel head. That doesn't look like good wood right there. But it goes down as a base hit. He hit that on a good part of the bat, too. That's not like that was off the end and it shattered. That was off a good part of the bat, and it just exploded. Goes right past Pelfrey. So the second hit in the inning, a 2-out single for Santana, will give Rayburn a chance now.
Ryan Rayburn fly to left his first time up, looks at a ball down and in. Ryan went through a stretch where he had 12 hits in 14 at-bats. But 0 for his last 6 now in this series. Pelfrey delivers, and Rayburn goes the other way, punches it, it's in. Base hit. Santana will be able to go to third, and the Indians have runners at the corners with 2 down here in the 4th. And that's the tying run now at third base.
Well, if you're a hitter, that's a thing of beauty. If you're the pitcher, you made a pretty good pitch, and he fights it off. There's not much you can do. You see, he ran it inside. Rayburn just, you got to give him credit, man. Inside outs. Carroll running after the ball like he's going to catch up to it. almost like it's hit in slow motion. So with 2 outs, back-to-back singles here. Shattered bat, a bloop. And now it gives Chisenhall an opportunity to at least tie the score.
Now Lonnie Chisenhall. An infield hit, his first and only time up today. Indians with their first hit of the game when Chisenhall got the infield single in the third. But here in the fourth, they've made Pelfrey work for the first time in this ballgame. As Drupal Cabrera started it off with a leadoff double. Swung on and missed. Fastball away, and Chisenhall down on the count 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch fouled right back. During this 6-game winning streak for the Indians, the number 8 spot in the order has combined for a .292 average. Primarily that's been Chisenhall, but occasionally there have been other guys in there.
There's not many spots that aren't hitting 300, is there? Just 2?
Yeah.
The number 8 and the number
4 spot, 280.
4-8. The double cleanup hitters.
Outside, he missed 1-2. The spots that really jump out at you, the 5-hole, which has been Mark Reynolds a lot. That spot has hit 500 in the 6-game win streak. And the number 9 hole, where Drew Stubbs has hit mostly.
Yeah, those guys have been locked in. Well, as a team, they're hitting, what, 474 on this homestand with 2 outs. It's crazy.
1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. So Pelfrey gets out of it, but the Indians get on the board. 2-1 Minnesota after 4 innings of play. The wireless receiver only from AT U-verse. Rethink possible. By your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Panini's, with 19 locations in Northeast Ohio. It's a 2-1 Twins lead. 5th inning, it will be the bottom third of Minnesota's order coming up. Oswaldo Arcia, Aaron Hicks, Eduardo Escobar. Corey Kluber has made 52 pitches through the first 4 innings. 33 of those have been strikes. 8 ground ball outs. The one mistake so far, the homer hit by Trevor Plouffe after he walked Parmalee.
Hanging curveball. He hit it out, and that's the 2 runs.
He's retired the last 4 in a row. Garcia called out on strikes back in the 2nd inning.
Well, we'll get a good look at this guy this year, the 19 times we play him. But for this first series that we see, Garcia does not get cheated.
No, he's got a big swing, but he's got good power. I mean,
big swing, and he takes a healthy cut, and he's not afraid to let it go.
Kluber falls behind 3-0. Taken all the way, 3 balls and a strike. Aaron Hicks waiting on deck.
Nice little cutter there. 3-1. Just to get me over for a strike. You can tell you feel comfortable when you go up there and just throw it. And it starts away, and it has nice little break on the outside edge. Good pitch. That's how he got him last time to strike out.
And he lines it up the middle for a base hit.
Good hitting. See, he stayed out there. He got him the first time with the strikeout out there. Went 3-1 out there for the strike. Tried to do it 3-2. He made the adjustment. And just stays with it up the middle. Almost the same pitch. That was even a better pitch than the 3-1 pitch. And good job of hitting. So the Twins come back, get their leadoff man aboard. That's the 2nd time they've done that today.
Kluber delivers, and Hicks bunts it back foul. Aaron Hicks is in his first year in the big leagues. And granted, he is a former first-round pick. But you talk about a guy that gets it. 2 years ago, he wrote a check to his alma mater, Woodrow Wilson High School in Long Beach, California, so that they could have a new scoreboard at their baseball complex. $15,000. Here you go.
Nice.
I mean, that's a guy who hasn't even made it yet. He hasn't made the big money. I mean, but giving back already. Runner goes, throw down. I got to believe a sign was missed there. Garcia is out by a mile.
Well, I got to say that there was a missed sign. He bunted the first time, and, you're not going to start Garcia. He hasn't attempted a stolen base yet this year. That's just miscommunication. This is a guy that's hitting 133. And you can see thrown out by a mile. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Whatever way you want to look at it, either a missed hit and run or just a bad stolen base attempt, works out in the Indians' favor.
Now Hicks fouls it back out of play. A ball and 2 strikes. Well, if he's given a check of $15,000 to his alma mater, he may be writing a check to Ron Gardenhire after the game too.
He might be for a few $100. Well, it used to be if you miss a sign like that or do something like that and you have a kangaroo court, I don't know if these guys do that anymore, but you end up patrolling yourself and you'll get fined for it through the court, by the players, if not the manager.
Strike 3 called. 2 down.
And that's insult to injury there.
Yeah, sure is. 4th strikeout for Kluber.
Look at this ball going away, and it's a generous strike call. Boy, if pitchers get that all day long, it should be a good day for the pitchers. It should be, you don't see a whole lot of pitcher strike zones much anymore, I don't think, compared to, well, as many games as we watch. I'd say there are more hitters strike zone than pitchers.
Escobar fouls at first base side. Escobar came to the Twins along with left-hander Pedro Hernandez, who started the first game of this series at the trading deadline last year for Francisco Liriano. The 1-1 fouled back out of play. The 1-2 pitch missed outside. That's one of those trades where, you know, the Twins obviously could get some benefit. We don't know how good Hernandez will pan out. Escobar might be a role player. But for the White Sox, it was a short-term rental for Liriano, and he's already moved on. 2-2. Popped him up. As Dribble Cabrera makes the grab. And that's it for the Twins in the fifth. It remains 2-1 Minnesota. Another gorgeous day here at the ball yard.
It has been a great homestand at this point, hasn't it? And we still have 4 more to go. Oakland A's coming to town tomorrow.
Yeah, weather looks pretty good all 4 days.
Yes, it does.
If you're making your plans to come down and join us tomorrow, Ubaldo Jimenez coming off that great start and will go against Jared Parker. Tuesday, Zach McAllister and Tommy Malone. Wednesday, it's Justin Masterson against A.J. Griffin. And then Thursday, Scott Kazmir wraps up the homestand against Bartolo Colon.
The 12 o'clock game.
And that's a 12 o'clock game, right?
Ooh, good idea.
So 7 o'clock Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 12 o'clock Thursday. And don't forget, a week from Monday, the Indians are back home for one day in the middle of the road trip. It'll be a traditional doubleheader against the New York Yankees. The 0-1 pitch. Stubbs takes, it's inside.
Boy, for Stubbs in that first pitch, the layup bunt down was the right idea. He had the thought process was there. They're trying to pound him in, and he flew out to right his last time up, so you knew he was going to come inside with that pitch, and it's an easier one to bunt for him. He just bunted it foul.
Pounding him in again, but he's able to lay off 2-1 to count. Belfry fires, and Stubbs pops it in the air, right center field. Arcia on the move, makes the catch, 1 away. Our in-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Trevor Plouffe with a 2-run homer in the second inning, taking Minnesota to the 2-0 lead. The Indians' lone run coming after Asdrubal Cabrera doubled, stole third, came home on the sac fly by Mark Reynolds. That has been it. The high-scoring Indians offense has been grounded today by Mike Pelfrey.
Well, and Pelfrey usually, when he's on the mound for the Twins, they average him over 7 runs a game of run support, 7.66. He gets the best run support of anybody on that staff. They have 2 for him today, but he has done a nice job pitching. I gave you the numbers coming into this game, what he's done, and he's made the adjustment. And I'll tell you what I like, what he's done to the Indians hitters. He's gone inside. Not necessarily all for strikes, but he's doubled up in there. He's really made these guys conscious of the pitches on the inside part of the plate, and it's opened up the outside part for them.
Line to first on a hop. Brantley is out number 2.
Well, the first 10,000 fans will get a Block C rally cap, courtesy of Strickland's Frozen Custard, when the Indians come back and take on the Seattle Mariners Saturday, May 18th. Get your tickets early, and you can go to Indians.com for them.
Jason Kipnis will be the batter, 0 for 2 so far today. Takes a strike. I think the thing for me that jumped out, Pelfrey had allowed 36 hits in 22 innings coming in. He's kept the Tribe to just 4, and one of those was an infield hit.
Yeah, 43 base runners in the 22 innings. So, I mean, you know, you figure he's in trouble every inning. But out of his 5 starts coming into this game, I told you he only gave up 2 home runs, and both of them came last game against the Tigers. So other than that, he's kept it in the ballpark. And the Indians have been doing a lot of damage on this 6-game streak, hitting the long ball.
Pelfrey had 80 pitches on the afternoon. 49 have been strikes. The 2-2 to Kipnis. Mike Winters rings him up. The Indians go 1-2-3, and it stays 2-1 Minnesota through 5. Northeast Ohio. On All Bets Are Off at 7. Then at 9, Jimmy Hanlon is in the golf zone to help you with your golf game. It's all tonight on Sports Time, Ohio. I bet Jimmy's been in the golf zone all weekend with this weather.
Well, he can come up and help us out with our golf swings if he'd like.
He only has so much time.
Yeah, that's true.
Jamie Carroll, Joe Mauer, Josh Willingham for the Twins here in the 6th. Corey Kluber has given up just the 2 runs on the 2-run homer by Trevor Plouffe in the 2nd inning. He's only allowed 3 hits. High ball 1. Carroll, one of those hits to start the game. Last time up, he hit a tapper back to the mound. 2-0 the count as Santana looks back at Mike Winters as if to say, that was a ball? Really? Two balls and a strike now. Oakland leads New York 2-1. They're in the 4th inning at Yankee Stadium. White Sox Royals scoreless. They are in the 2nd in Kansas City. Carroll lines one to right field, a base hit. His 2nd hit today. Well, Scott Kazmir pitched well yesterday for his first win since 2010. With more on that, here's Katie.
Well, people were coming out of the woodwork last night. Scott Kazmir told me his phone did not stop ringing. It was his first win since September of 2010, Matt. And he told me it was good to get that first win, kind of get the monkey off of his back. But he honestly wasn't thinking about it before the game or during the game. But he feels like the more he's out there, the more innings he gets under his belt, the more comfortable he's getting and the better he's seen his stuff become.
And the more distance he puts between himself and where he's been. He said, I don't want to have to continue to think back on where I've been, what I've been through. I want to put that behind me, and then if he continues to pitch like he did yesterday, he'll do that sooner rather than later.
Well, we witnessed it. He's been better in every start he's made so far, and if he can continue to do that and continue to improve, good things will happen.
Santana's going to go out to chat with Kluber.
He had 7 strikeouts, and he was throwing the strikes early. He was spotting his fastball. That was a breaking ball to the left-handers. He had a good one. Wasn't afraid to pitch inside.
I thought it was interesting. He said afterwards, Rick, that, from a mental standpoint, he said maybe because of how much I've had to go through to get back here, if something goes wrong, I don't start thinking about it and make it worse than it is. So to the point where things start snowballing the other way on you. He said, I think that's where maybe maturing and going through the adversity, he said, I think that's helped me to where, hey, if I give up a hit or give up a home run, that's okay. Move on to the next guy.
He's been through it before. That certainly helps.
Not his first rodeo.
Well, it also helps when that offense gets you some runs early.
Yeah.
And they did that for him yesterday. They did that for him in his first start.
Two-one pitch. Mauer takes. Kluber's not missing by much, but some of these pitches are close, but Twins hitters aren't biting. And so he's behind Mauer 3-1. Walked him his last time up. And he walked him again. 2 on, nobody out. Back to the Hyundai Studios we go. Here's Al Pulaski with an update.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Rick. The last time Luke Mons was in the major leagues was with the Washington Nationals in 2008. Today, he hits a home run for the Oakland A's, his 2nd career major league homer. That puts Oakland ahead of New York in New York, 2-1, top of the 5th inning at Yankee Stadium. Matt?
Thanks, Alice. Another good comeback story. 2008. Well, now Josh Willingham 0 for 2 on the day. He hit into a double play in the first inning, and boy, could Kluber use one of those right here. Willingham a swing and a miss. And same result. No balls, 2 strikes. Willingham has 18 hits on the year. 11 of them have been for extra bases, so this guy can do some damage. Two-strike delivery. Up high with it. Terry Francona has to be pleased with the way his starters have thrown the ball here lately. Now the 1-2. Back out of play. And here again, you got a starter pitching into the 6th inning and hopefully beyond.
Kluber's done outstanding today. He hung one curveball to Plouffe. Trevor Plouffe, he hit one out of the ballpark. That's their 2 runs. One little mistake sometimes, and hopefully it's not going to cost them a ball game, especially the way the Indians have been scoring. You figure that's no big deal.
Again, it's fouled back.
I mean, other than that, he's scattered 3 singles. He's walked 3, but he's done fine. Love to see him get a ground ball here, and they can turn 2 again. That's what he needs.
Missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Infield on their toes. They want to turn 2 here. And Kluber has had a lot of ground ball opportunities. That's low, full count. Eight ground ball outs in the game for Kluber. Carroll at second, Mauer at first. Some stirring in the Indians bullpen. Looks like we're going to get somebody up as Kluber comes set. And the payoff pitch. Outside, it's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. 2 walks in the inning. He's walked 2 in a row.
Boy, had him down 0-2 and ends up walking him. So the back-to-back walks, I mean, they're close, but they're off the plate. Not enough for a guy to swing at. And you have to make him swing the bat. Now he has set the table for him. And you're going to go through the big part of the lineup. Mickey Callaway is going to come up, and they've got to get that bullpen going.
Cody Allen is up, getting loose. Justin Morneau 0 for 2. Not the guy you want to see at the plate, though, in this situation. He's already 5th all-time on the Twins RBI list. He has driven in 800 runs in his career. Man, he's got a chance to do some damage now. Let's get the answer to the AT&T trivia question. 3 active players, 2 or more batting titles. Well, the guy at second base is
right,
one of them.
Joe Mauer, and you know Ichiro's done it, and the guy in Detroit has done it. The Triple Crown and Miguel Cabrera, yeah. Well, Kluber in a spot right here. He's got to try and minimize the damage in a 1-run ball game here in the 6th inning. Nobody out, bases loaded.
That's a base hit, and a run will score. Carroll comes home. Mauer gets the stop sign at third. Rayburn gets off a
got
good
him
throw.
at third. Got him
They've
at
got
third.
2 runners hung up there. Santana throws to second. There's
Run him all the
Cabrera.
way.
Cabrera will run him to third, and he will tag out. That will be Willingham, who will be
boy,
out.
Oh boy, oh boy. Thank
And
you.
Big play right there.
Well, it is because he didn't keep his head up. He thought Bauer was going home, but still, you've got to make sure they send him. You can't overrun him and force him in. You know, you're not going to take a chance. There's nobody out. So they get an easy out in this inning because Rayburn comes up, makes a good throw to Santana. But watch Willingham's hand. Oh, man, they stopped him. He, for some reason, looked down, just run him to third base, tag him. He is out. So they still have first and third with one out, but that double plays in order.
Chris Parmalee, the batter. Parmalee walked and scored ahead of the homer by Plouffe in the second inning. Struck out his last time up. And the count quickly. No balls, 2 strikes. That took off. Fastball almost to the backstop. Santana came up to grab it. 1-2. First 4 Twins all reaching here in the 6th inning. Base running mistake cost him 1 out. Kluber looking for that double play ball to get out of the inning. I can't believe how many times they have taken pitches that are just a ball or 2 off the plate. Down in the count.
Well, again, that's a cutter going away, and it's off the plate. He's got to reel it in and get a little tighter if he wants to get him to swing at it. You know, that's a situation there where if you're Santana behind the plate and he's off. You do want to miss when you're off the plate a little bit, but you may have to sit a little more toward the plate and just move that glove out a little, not the whole body.
Swing and a miss. He gets in the chase, strikes him out. 5 Ks now for Kluber. 2 down in the inning.
Well, he'll take that one. I was just getting ready to say he's getting cutter happy, but throws the fastball and got out of it.
All right, the AT&T U-verse rewind. Trevor Plouffe, 2-run homer back in the 2nd inning. Meanwhile, Terry Francona is going to go to the bullpen. Corey Kluber goes 5 2/3. He leaves on the short end of a 3-1 score. Today's call to the bullpen brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic. Cody Allen is coming on when we come back.
But they have a chance to get out of this, an inning that really could have been a big inning for Minnesota because they had their first 3 reach, with nobody out, and then Morneau got a base hit. So actually the first 4 reached, and then the base running mistake by Willingham. And then to end Corey Kluber's day, they got the strikeout. Now they're turning it over to Allen. And I'll tell you, he's got a chance to get out of it with just the 1 run. So Kluber, 5 2/3, 5 hits. To this point, 3 runs, but he's responsible for the 2 on. 4 walks, 5 strikeouts.
Well, it's Trevor Plouffe will be the batter. First and third. Fastball up high for ball 1. Maurer, the runner at third base. He walked earlier in the inning. Out of play, 1-1 to count. Look at Trevor Plouffe. He was a first-round pick in 04, 20th overall selection. Aaron Hicks, a first-round pick in 08, the 14th overall selection. You got Oswaldo Arcia, who was signed out of Venezuela by the Twins as a 16-year-old. 6 of the 9 Minnesota starters in this game were either drafted or originally signed by Minnesota. That's a terrific job of, scouting, evaluating, developing, getting them to the big leagues.
And that's pretty much how they've done it, and they feel they have to do it. For years it was Minnesota. They draft, develop.
Or make, like the Indians, make some good trades to, restock the system. Yeah. Remember when they traded...
when they needed to add a piece.
Pierzynski, that's what kind of jump-started their rebuilding when they got Joe Nathan, and I forget who else they got in that trade. But that was a big moment for them.
Well, Terry Ryan back with him as their general manager, where he stepped down a couple of years ago. They brought him back last year.
2-2 pitch. Outside full count. Now, having said all that, whether or not Parmelee and Plouffe and Hicks will turn out to be true, cornerstones that you can build around, hey, only time will tell.
They have to find that out. Yeah. And these guys are getting the opportunity to play this year, because they've signed their way. They've got Morneau, they've got Maurer that they're sign're locked into. So you can't change.
No.
Not like you can trade those guys and try and get something in return because of the money that they are owed. So you got to go with your youth and see what happens and see what you have. Sometimes those big contracts can
hamstring you
big
time.
They can cripple you. Yes, they can.
All right, the runner at first, Morneau, will take off on the 3-2 pitch here to Plouffe. Cody Allen deals, and Plouffe lines it down the right side, but it slices out of play. Couple of guys diving into the seats. (3-1) Minnesota on top here in the 6th. The 3-2 pitch is ball 4, and that's the 3rd walk in the inning. So Minnesota taking advantage, or trying to take advantage. They only have the 1 run in, but with 2 outs, they'll get another chance with bases loaded. And Oswaldo Arcia coming up. He's 1 for 2 with a single here today.
There you go.
Breaking
me over
for a strike. Yeah, nice one.
Good fastball hitter. You don't have to be perfect with it. Just throw that get me over curveball. If he wants to get after it, go right ahead.
Swung on and missed. It's 0-2.
See, what that get me over curveball does, or the strike one curveball, it just puts a little doubt in that hitter's mind saying you may throw that again. And then with Allen, he's got enough on his fastball. He got it by him. You know, here you go. 94, and it's strike two. Now you have him down in the count. You can go a number of ways to try and get him out. But that's so important to throw that first pitch breaking ball for a strike when you throw it.
Ran the fastball up high, but way up out of the zone. Bases loaded, 2 down. 1-2 pitch. Fastball rarely ran it in on his hands, and he was still able to fight it off. You know, I wonder the other night when Cody came into the game in that 7th inning situation, he gave up a home run on a breaking ball. Is that in the back of his mind, you think, here today? Like, I'm going to get beat. I want to get beat with my best pitch?
Well, no, because you still have to pitch out there. Just throw a good one. Don't hang it. If you're going to bounce one here, you know, with 2 strikes. He's worked hard to get ahead of him. He shouldn't be.
1-2 pitch. Fastball.
Oh. Now that's been a strike all day long. That was a good pitch. I'll tell you what, he's been making that call all day long, and why you don't make it now is beyond me. That's a good pitch. So he made it and didn't get the call. So now he's got to come back and try and make another one.
Swung out and missed. He got him with a breaking ball. Arcia goes down swinging, and Cody Allen gets a big strikeout to end the inning. On this Cinco de Mayo, Minnesota leads 3-1. Bottom of the 6th inning. As Dribble Cabrera, Nick Swisher, Mark Reynolds coming up for the Indians. Tribe got to get something going offensively. Mike Pelfrey has shut them down on just 4 hits here today.
Yeah, 3 hits coming in the 4th inning. A couple of them with 2 outs. Big man's done a nice job today. He was 2-3 with a 7.6 ERA coming in, and I'll tell you what, he's really pitched well. He's moved them back off the plate.
Good breaking ball in for a strike.
Cabrera got the 4th inning started. He scored the only run with a double down the left field line.
And now Pelfrey ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matt Albers getting loose in the Tribe pen. Almost looked like Cabrera might have felt a little discomfort after that last swing, the way he left the box. 1-2. Low with the breaking ball.
Well, he stayed with a lot of off-speed pitches in this at-bat.
Now the 2-2. Another one got him. I'm telling you, he looks like he did something
oblique
in that at bat.
You watch. Yes, it does. 6 strikeouts now for Mike Pelfrey. Another one he's pulling off of. Watch. Look at he's got something in the side. There he grabs that. That's the oblique right there. You saw it on the swing before, and he comes right back and does it again. Wouldn't be surprised to see Aviles in this ball game.
Nick Swisher takes a look at a ball outside. It's a half dozen strikeouts for Mike Pelfrey.
Well, in his first 5 starts, he had 7 strikeouts all year long. He's got 6 today.
Fastball runs away. 2-0 the count. Swisher lifts one in the air to center field. Hicks makes the catch, 2 down.
Watch how Mike Pelfrey has attacked the left-handed hitters of the Indians. He's gone upstairs with fastballs, and he has not been afraid to go inside. I mean, elevated above the belt. You can see they just can't catch up to it. Inside, I'll tell you, he's pitched well today.
He's got 2 down and the base is empty.
Hard to believe that this guy is only a year removed from Tommy John surgery for me.
Barely a year.
I mean, almost to the day.
Yeah.
You know, normally we see it, but some average we'd say 18 months after you get it done, and then your rehab process, and by the time you get out, you stretch everything out, your adhesions, you get your arm strength back. It's usually about 18 months. Well, you wouldn't be able to tell today for this guy. Lefties were hitting .395 off him coming into this game. They're 3 for 16.
Just when you think you got this game figured out, you don't. 7 strikeouts for Mike Pelfrey as he is shutting down the Indians so far today. Bar and Grill. Time once again for today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. And it's Matt Albers coming on now for the Indians. Albers on for the 8th time this year. 1 win, no losses, an ERA at 3.52. He's walked 4, struck out 5 in 7 2/3 innings of work. He'll be facing Aaron Hicks, Eduardo Escobar, and Jamie Carroll. Aaron Hicks, his dad, Joe Hicks, was a 12th round pick of the Padres back in 1975. He played 4 seasons in the minor leagues, but his career was ended when he was hit by a pitch in the face in 1979. Taking a little time to get the feeling back in that leg or foot. I'm not sure exactly where it caught him. The set on the pitch and a weak ground ball to short as Dribble Cabrera fields it cleanly, throws him out. 1 down. Good sign to see Cabrera in the field handling that with no ill effects after he looked at least uncomfortable when he left the batter's box after that last AB.
Well, that's going to do it on the left side. You watch him swing and watch that first one. Boom, right there. Left side, he felt something. And then they come right back on the next pitch. And it may not bother him to field, but it looks like it bothers him to hit from that left side.
Eduardo Escobar 0 for 2. Swung out and missed. Missed in off the plate. Bounced it in front of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eduardo Escobar, when he was in the White Sox system, Buddy Bell said of Escobar, quote, "What you see is what you get. He's a high-energy kid because that's just him. He doesn't put up with anything. He's kind of like Ozzie Guillen in that regard, but he's not as abrasive. Maybe he will be. They're very similar in the way they play and the way they swing," end quote.
Give him some time and he might be, huh?
Two balls, 2 strikes. Albers deals. And a ground ball right back to him. Throws him out 2 away.
Well, once again, you can catch 2 games for the price of 1 Monday. A week from Monday, May 13th. The Yankees are coming back to town to play the traditional doubleheader. First pitch will be at 12:05. 1 ticket is good for both games.
High noon double dip against the Bronx Bombers.
And then after the 2 games, we're on our way to Philadelphia. We just come home after the weekend series against Detroit, make up the 2 games. It was supposed to be an off day in Philadelphia.
Here's the ball that Matt Albers fielded.
No, that he found in his glove. Holy smokes, what did I find?
He had
Look
it
at
all
him.
the way.
Yeah, right. He had no clue that thing went in his glove.
The 0-1 is down low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But you always act like you do.
That's right.
You know, you don't realize how fast that ball gets back to you. You're 60 feet away, and by the time you throw the ball, it take off another at least 5. So you're 55, 53, 55 feet, and that ball's on its way.
And sometimes it's the ones that are mishit. They're harder to get because you expect it to be there.
Yeah, you can't judge the velocity of it coming at you.
3 balls and a strike.
He's going to make him work. He won't swing at this pitch. He's going to take it. He's going to try and draw a walk. I'd be shocked if he swings. That's just the way Jamie Carroll plays. He knows his job is to get on base. And he did.
Two-out walk keeps the inning alive for Joe Mauer.
6 walks now by Tribe pitching today. That ball's running down and in, and the movement doesn't get the call. He was standing up there waiting for it. Said, nope, ball 4, take your base.
Joe Mauer has walked twice, struck out his first time up. Well, the Indians swept that 2-game series against Philadelphia. And now Miami, I think that's a 3-game series. They're about to take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. They lead it 5-0. Or was that a 4-game series? I'm not sure. Okay, it's a 4-game series they're playing, but a lot of heat, though, already on Philadelphia. Still very early. They're only 4 games out. Atlanta's come back to the pack a little bit after their blistering start.
Yeah, but that's the reason why there's a lot of heat, because of the Atlanta Braves and the Nats. They're in that division, and they're good teams. That puts pressure on you before you even play a game.
Albers with a toss to first. Carroll back safely. Well, we'll be right back in Philly, so we'll get an idea of how we'll get a temperature of how things are going in Philadelphia.
I remember the last time we were in Philly. Remember the day we were leaving, the storm that took place?
I'll never forget
it. With the tarp on the field.
1-1 pitch. Throw down to first. Carroll back with the dive. That's the time that they put the tarp on the field and they put a tractor over the third base corner of the tarp to keep it down.
Right.
And the wind blew so hard it pulled that tractor halfway down the third baseline.
Yeah, it did.
Never seen it. We thought we felt like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz.
It was a strange happening, no question. That was our last visit. We didn't fare well on the. No. I think we got swept. We lost 3.
2-1 pitch. Just a bit outside. Boy, 3-1 the count. Toronto tattooing Seattle 10-2. They're taking out some frustration. It's been a miserable season for the Jays so far. They're trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Already 11 games under 500. Hit well, deep to left. Back is Brantley. Can't make the catch. Around third, Jamie Carroll is going to come home. Cabrera won't be able to make a throw. And the Minnesota Twins add to their lead. It's now a 4-1 ball game. Mauer got himself into a good hitter's count, picks up his 9th RBI.
Yeah, the 2-out walk and then the double, and they come back and score. Second time today that they've scored right after a walk. And Maurer, as you mentioned, had the ball and just out of reach of Michael Brantley, gets to the wall, so that enables Carroll to come around and score. So they add another solo run here in the 7th. It's 4-1 Minnesota.
Mickey Callaway going to go out for a talk with Albers. Rich Hill getting up in the Tribe pin. In this Indians 6-game win streak, they haven't trailed this late in a ball game. So we'll see if they've got some late inning life left in those bats here today. Still have 3 more turns at the dish. But first, Albers has to get out of this inning. And you've got Josh Willingham at the plate. And a fastball strike over the outside corner. One and one to count. Oakland leading New York 4-2. The A's 17-14 on the year. Started the day 2.5 back of front running Texas in the AL West. Maurer at second base with 2 down here in the 7th inning. And another pitch is low, 3-1. With back-to-back left-handed hitters coming up, this is probably it for Albers right here. 3-1 pitch. Bullseye, full count. Now the right-hander ready in the payoff pitch. Swung on and miss. He strikes him out. But the Twins get another run. And they lead it now 4-1. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Life is hard. Buying a car shouldn't be. Well, as promised you earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Mike Pelfrey came into today's game, and you were thinking, oh, this matches up well for the Indians, but that's how baseball is sometimes. Pelfrey went out, pitched his best game of the year. 6 innings,
question.
4 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, and allowed just 1 run.
He had 7 strikeouts in his first 5 starts and
Combined.
had 7 today. So really he did a great job. No question. Moved the ball around, pitched very well. Josh Renicky coming on for the second time in the series. Renicky pitched in game 1 and went an inning, had a couple of strikeouts. In that series, he faced Reynolds, Santana, and Rayburn. So today he's going to get Santana, Rayburn, and Chisenhall.
Carlos Santana fouls it out of play. 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Josh Renicky facing Santana here. Breaking ball misses. Renicky was a 10th round pick of the Cincinnati Reds back in 2006 out of UCLA. Then he was part of that big trade in which Scott Rowland went to Cincinnati, and Renicky, Edwin Encarnacion, and Zach Stewart went to Toronto. Renicky was released by the Blue Jays in the middle of the 2011 season. And then the Twins ultimately acquired Renicky off waivers from the Colorado Rockies this past off season. That pitch up high.
Yeah, he pitched in a number of games for the Rockies because the way their starting pitcher was last year.
He pitched in 63 games last year and had a 3.25 ERA.
Right.
And as starved as they usually are for pitchers who can pitch on that team in that ballpark, surprised they let him go. Carlos Santana is aboard to start the 7th. Ryan Rayburn coming up as the Indians try to battle their way back. They're down 3 here in the 7th inning. A long way to go.
Long way to go, but you always take those free passes.
Left-hander Brian Dunson getting loose.
Yeah, the Indians, they have walked 6 as a team, and 2 have come around to score. They've had a hard time, Minnesota has, getting to Glenn Perkins, who their closer is, and that's the big thing they're trying to do. Get it to that 9th inning, and sometimes that can be a bear. Perkins is 6 for 6 this year in save situations.
Well, he's ball 1 to Ryan Rayburn here, who singled his last time up. That was way back in the 4th. But that's how good Pelfrey was today. He retired the last 7 in a row. Right back, 1-1.
Had a good pitch to hit, fouled it straight back.
Renicky taking a long time here. And finally, Rayburn says, well, how about a timeout here? A little bit high, 2 balls and a strike. Indians looking for some kind of a jolt offensively to get them rolling.
Renicky need a knock here. Get something going.
Delivers a strike. It's 2-2. Ron Gardenhire felt that was what the Twins were missing yesterday in a game that could have gone either way. He said, we just couldn't get that big hit.
Yeah, sometimes there's a point in time right here. You got the leadoff man aboard. They could use two guys on with nobody out to start this inning. Crowd hasn't had a whole lot to get into.
Upstairs, a full count.
Yeah, he's been all over with that fastball. See if he comes back with that breaking ball. He's got a sharp one with a good spin to it. Chisenhall, the on deck hitter, full count coming here to Rayburn.
And the payoff pitch is swung on and missed. He got him.
Came back with the slider. That looks like his money pitch.
It's the 8th Indian hitter to strike out today.
Yeah, sometimes you see he just slows it down. He's got a nice tight spin to that breaking ball. Outside edge, it's a strike even if you don't swing at it.
So here's Lonnie Chisenhall, 1 out of 2. Infield hit back in the 3rd inning, struck out in the 4th. Pops it straight up. Went after the breaking ball, first pitch. 2 down. Let's revisit our keys to the game from earlier. 6 innings from the starter has equaled success for the Indians. Kluber went 5 2/3, and he was really pitching well, but he ran into trouble in the 6th inning. And he just had some control problems. Walked 2, the bases were loaded, and he had 2 outs in the inning before he got the hook and win the first 3 innings. That didn't happen today. But they haven't won any innings in terms of, offensively. The Twins have done a nice job pitching, and they've kept the Tribe's bats on ice so far. Fly ball to left field. And the leadoff walk cannot get the Tribe rolling here in the 7th. It remains 4-1 Minnesota.
Transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
All right, we go down to the 8th inning. It's a 4-1 Minnesota lead. And left-hander Scott Barnes, who was just called back up from AAA Columbus. The Indians, if you missed earlier, designated Ezekiel Carrera for assignment. And Barnes will work here in the 8th inning. Couple of left-handed hitters to start. Justin Morneau, then Chris Parmelee.
Second time Barnes has been up here. So he'll get some work in today.
Morneau was going to try to beat the shift with a bunt, but it
how
went
nice
foul.
is that? If that's safe, fair. And you don't have to worry about how hard you bunt it. Just get it down, and he tried. I mean, there is nobody near. Look at that shot. He just put it on the ground. It was a nice attempt. He just angled it a little too far. Foul ball, strike one.
See, as a former goalie, he didn't have many opportunities to one-time it. So otherwise, he might have been able to get that down.
I gotcha. Have to change, go to a different stick.
Morneau, an RBI single back in the 6th inning. Up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right back up the middle. Cabrera with the shift on, throws him out. 1 away. In-game box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. Not a lot going on today for Minnesota, but Trevor Plouffe with a 2-run homer early and late. Jamie Carroll in the 6th and 7th innings. He reached via single, via walk, and came around to score. Once on a hit by Morneau, once on a double by Maurer. Chris Parmelee, 0 for 2. He has walked, scored, struck out twice. And a breaking ball in there to make the count 0-2. Boston Red Sox are baseball's first 20-win team, and they're trying to keep Texas from joining the 20-win ranks. They lead the Rangers 3-0 in the 2nd inning down in Arlington.
Big Poppy, two-run homer off Darvish.
Got him looking. Parmelee is out number 2. Stay tuned for Indians Live coming up after the ball game. Brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Al and Jason will break down the highlights. Rick and I will have some final thoughts from here at the ballpark, and Katie will have reaction from down in the clubhouse. 2 away for Trevor Plouffe. St. Louis Cardinals also with a chance to get to that 20-win mark in the National League. They are pummeling Milwaukee 8-0 in the 4th inning. Cardinals trying to run their win streak to 6 in a row. Two balls and a strike.
It's not a bad looking pitch.
Took a little something off. Then Trevor Plouffe swings and misses. The count is 2-2.
Hit him.
Got him on the foot. So Plouffe will take his base with 2 down here in the 8th inning.
Tried to throw that slider down and in, back foot slider, and it got him in the back foot all right. He did his job. Called for the back foot slider, and it hit him there.
Oswaldo Arcia 1 for 3 today. Single back in the 5th. He has struck out twice. Up and in, and Arcia had to bail to get out of the way, and Barnes going to get a visit from Santana. Now, unless the Indians rally here today, then St. Louis would own the longest win streak in baseball. Looks like they're cruising up big, going to 6 straight wins. San Francisco has also won 5 in a row. Giants are in action later tonight against the Dodgers. Pitch outside. In that game we were talking about earlier, Miami beating up on Philadelphia, that was Roy Halladay who got lit up again.
Really?
Miami got him for 9 runs.
Wow.
Murph said only 4 hits, so he must have walked a bunch too. 2 1/3 innings. He walked 4 hits.
Well, there has to be some concern there.
Yeah.
He was pitching okay for the 3 games before coming into this one, and they laid him up here.
Swing and a miss, full count. Echeverria, Murph says, has 7 RBIs in that game for Miami.
Wow.
He's got a grand slam and a 3-run triple. Whew. All right, the runner at first is off on the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a foul off to the left, out of play. It's a final in Toronto. Blue Jays beat the Mariners 10-2. Toronto ended their 4-game losing streak with that win. Arcia strikes out. We go to the last of the 8th, 4-1 Minnesota. Eighth inning. It will be the top of the order for the Indians. And right-hander Jared Burton on for the 13th time this year for Minnesota.
This is also his 2nd appearance in the series. He pitched in the first game. on Friday. Went an inning, gave up a couple of hits, a run, walked one. Now the Indians are down to 6 outs. They got to try to find a way. There hasn't been a lot of action going on here today offensively. They had one inning where they had 3 guys aboard. Other than that, they have had 1 hit the rest of the ball game. That was in the 3rd inning. The other 3 hits came in the 4th inning.
Pitch up high, ball 1.
It's been a very quiet afternoon for an offense that has been on fire, averaging over 6 runs a game. But you can't do it every day.
2-0 the count. Well, as you said last inning, you need base runners. They had the leadoff walk last inning, but couldn't put anything together after it. That's in for a strike. Jared Burton originally signed with the A's after they drafted him in the 8th round back in 2002. And then he was a Rule 5 pick of the Reds out of the A's system in 06. And he pitched with Cincinnati through the 2011 season and then signed on with Minnesota.
Yep.
Tried to hold up. Did he go?
Yep.
He sure did.
Yep.
1 away. Third base umpire Tim Timmons raising the right hand on Michael Brantley.
You look at it from the side. You go over there to check and say, no, I did not. He turns, and yes, Timmons says he did.
So here is Jason Kipnis 0 for 3 today. Up high. Jared Burton was a pretty accomplished basketball player in South Carolina in high school. He scored 1,000 points during his high school career. But baseball is where he really excelled. During his high school career, in 197 innings, he struck out 257 batters.
Wow.
Kipnis lifts one in the air, center field. And Aaron Hicks has that for out number 2. Fox Sports is proud to partner with Johns Hopkins Medicine, one of this year's Fox Sports supports charities. Join us in the fight against autoimmune diseases like MS and lupus. Donate now by visiting hopkinsmedicine.org/Fox. Two down for us, Dribble Cabrera. Keep a close eye on him in this at-bat. In the 6th inning when he struck out, he swung and missed twice, and on those swings and misses, he clearly grabbed at his, what was it, his right side? Left side after the.
Yeah, 2 swings in a row. And you hope he doesn't swing and miss in this at-bat.
Takes a fastball for a strike. It's 2-1. Game with a slider in there for a strike, and the count evens now at 2-2. And Cabrera bounces it up the middle. Diving stop by Carroll. Gets up and throws him out. Boy, that was a dynamite play by Jamie Carroll to take a hit away from his Dribble Cabrera to end the 8th inning. And it's all Twins so far today, 4-1 Minnesota. Scott Barnes worked a scoreless 8th. He'll stay on to pitch the 9th. Aaron Hicks to lead off for Minnesota. Pitch up high for ball 1. One ball, one strike. During spring training, the Indians have a number of guest instructors who come to camp, like Carlos Baerga and Kenny Lofton.
Right.
Minnesota does the same thing, and Aaron Hicks a couple of years ago got a chance to work with Rod Carew and talk to him primarily about staying back and just letting his hands work the bat through the hitting zone. And he said that was, great advice. And, obviously, as you know, when it comes from a Hall of Famer like that, it carries a little more weight.
Rod Carew probably had some of the best hands as a hitter you'd ever see. He could just, it's almost like he could just flick it to whatever hole he wanted to. And also, he was one of the best bunters. And this guy started the year leading off, So, I mean, he can help you incorporate a bunt. He was one of the best bunting guys there was. He was terrific. So when you get, and I mean, we talked to Rod when we were in Los Angeles. He was a hitting coach for the Angels for many years. Mm-hmm. And how that guy is not still in the game is beyond me. Obviously, if he wanted to be, he would be.
Swing and a miss. Hicks is the third strikeout victim of Scott Barnes in an inning in the third work.
Just throw that ball away. Good location, and Hicks upset with himself there.
Now Eduardo Escobar. Golfs it, fouled on the left side. I remember a conversation many years ago with Jeff Newman when he was a part of the Indians coaching staff under Mike Hargrove, and he was talking about Rod Carew and his ability to bunt. And he said, Rod Carew could sit there in the box and you could be playing third. He said he could tell you, I'm going to bunt this ball and I'm going to stop it 15 feet up the third baseline. He said, and he could do it. He said he had that kind of ability to just manipulate the ball off the bat.
He's one of the few guys that could ever bunt with 2 strikes.
Cabrera guns it over and he gets the speedy Escobar. 2 down. Just had that kind of confidence that even with two strikes, I'm going to get it down.
He was so good. He knew it, yes.
Stay tuned after the ball game for Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Recap the ball game, all the highlights, everything you need to know about the ball game coming up next. With 2 down, Jamie Carroll to the plate, and Carroll has continued his trend. When he starts, he hits, he produces. He was 7 for 22 coming into today as a starter, and he's gone 2 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs scored, as you see there. Rip foul. Left-hander Glenn Perkins, the Twins closer, getting loose.
That's the guy they want to get to.
Down and in, 2 balls and a strike.
Carroll has had a good day, 2 for 3, scored a couple of runs.
Takes a strike to even the count of 2-2. Oakland has gone ahead in New York 5-4. They're in the 8th in Yankee Stadium. Two-two pitch. Got him. Scott Barnes with 4 strikeouts and 2 innings of work. Can the Indians bats rally? Come on, find out next. (4-1), Minnesota leading it, bottom of the 9th here at Progressive Field, and Glenn Perkins, the Minnesota closer, is coming on now for the Twins.
Well, he's 6 for 6 in save opportunities. You got to go back to last year before he has blown a save. He's done a nice job in this role. You know, and he's been a starter before. The guy gets it into up to the mid-90s. And there's just 182 off him. Very stingy.
For the Indians, Nick Swisher, Mark Reynolds, and Carlos Santana. Swisher 0 for 3 today, a couple of strikeouts. Pops it up, shallow center. Out goes Escobar. He'll give way quickly to Hicks, the center fielder. And we've got out number 1 here in the bottom of the 9th. Glenn Perkins was a first-round pick in 2004, 2 picks after Trevor Plouffe. Minnesota with 2 first-round picks that year. Trevor Plouffe, big year for him, an opportunity to really prove he can be a building block for Minnesota. Perkins has been a good left-hander, and now getting the opportunity as the closer.
Yeah, they needed one. He stepped up and he ran with it. Got the opportunity. As they say, the door opens, you push your way through it and take advantage of it, and Glenn Perkins certainly has.
Talk about your homegrown product. Glenn Perkins, born in St. Paul, went to the University of Minnesota. He's a Gopher.
How neat is that to play right there in your hometown, pretty much?
And then to get drafted in the first round by him. I mean, yeah. Missed inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mark Reynolds drove in the Indians' only run with a sac fly in the 4th inning today. But he strikes out here, and there are 2 down in the bottom of the 9th. The pitch to Carlos Santana, down and in. Say he's got a pretty good beat on Perkins. And he drives another one deep to left. Looking up is Willingham. It's going to the bleachers. Carlos Santana, his 6th home run of the year. It's the Indians a run closer, cuts that Minnesota lead in half at 4-2. Well, Santana waited back nicely and then just simply unloaded on that pitch. Belt high, let it fly.
Well, he did. No question. He had success against Perkins, but you know, for Glenn Perkins, he wasn't going to walk him, and he gives up a solo home run. There you go. Now you got to come back and get the next guy. If you're looking at it as a closer's sense, now the Indians need another base runner to get the tying run to the plate.
Ryan Rayburn at the other end of the spectrum against Perkins. And it's quickly 0-2. Perkins from the set, the 0-2 pitch. Loop to right field. That's a base hit, and the Indians will bring the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th. Rayburn's 2nd hit of the game, and both hits were of the same variety. Just kind of inside out, little pop bloops that fell in right field.
Looking at the numbers prior to that swing, I'll tell you what, you would think, uh-oh. But you put the ball in play, and good things can happen.
Going to get a pinch hitter now for Lonnie Chisenhall, and it will be Mike Aviles who will get the call here in the last half of the 9th.
But they will bring the tying run to the plate. That's all you can ask. It's been a quiet day offensively, but they still have a chance.
Mike Aviles, 286 hitter, couple of homers, 12 runs batted in. He has doubled twice. Terry Francona going to his bench here now in the last half of the 9th. Only the 3rd pinch hit for the Indians on the season. And that's part of the American League. But it's up to Aviles to try and keep it alive now. Chops it foul.
He's not taking anything. That's where you get the guys that have been on the bench before that know you go up there against a pitcher like Perkins, you don't spot him a strike. If you like that pitch he's going to throw at you, let's get after it
Right
early.
on. Yep.
You know, you can't sit up there and give him a pitch.
Aviles is the tying run. Rayburn at first. And another foul back. It's 0-2. Now the 0-2. Inside he missed. Mike Aviles awaiting the 1-2 from Perkins. Rayburn takes his lead at first. Missed inside again. Same pitch, same location, same result. And now Aviles back to even in the count at 2-2.
And you can see that Minnesota outfield very deep
Boy,
to
are they
try and
deep,
keep
yeah.
that, the tying run off second base. That's called the no doubles defense. If they hit it over his head, it's going to be a home run anyway.
2-2. Fouled the other way, out of play.
Yeah, staying alive, put it in play. Perkins got the first two outs very easily. Then the Santana homer, the Rayburn opposite field single. And Aviles battling to keep it rolling.
Now Perkins 2-2 pitch. Checked, it was low. He did not go in a full count. So now Ryan Rayburn will be off and running at first base.
You take a look at it, he thought about it.
Definitely low.
Well, the ball was not. They're questioning the check, and he held it up. So now, here we go.
Payoff pitch. Fouled into the Indians' dugout. Off-speed pitch, and you could see Mike was out in front. Perkins, 18 pitches in the inning. 3-2 delivery. And a high pop down the line. Willingham over into foul territory. Can't make the catch. It goes up into the seats. And Aviles stays alive. Rayburn back to first. Keeping everybody on the edge of their seat here today at Progressive Field. Just over 14,000 in attendance on this Sunday as they try to come from behind to keep their win streak alive. Aviles strikes out and the game is over. Perkins strikes out a pair, and the Indians' win streak ends at 6. As Minnesota prevails 4-2 is the final score here today. With the loss, the Indians fall back to 500 at 14-14. Minnesota is 13-14 on the year. Mike Pelfrey gets the win for Minnesota. He's now 3-3. The loss goes to Corey Kluber, who is now 2-1, and the save to Glenn Perkins. And that's his 7th already.
Yeah, 7 for 7. That is correct.
Time now for our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, you go back to the second inning, and after the walk, Kluber hung a breaking ball, and he hits a 2-run homer. And Plouffe had a very good series. That gave him a 2-0 lead. They jumped up top, and that's really about what it took. It got Minnesota going. They pitched very well. That is going to be our KeyBank play of the game. Visit your local KeyBank branch for low rates on a home equity or auto loan. Certain conditions apply. See your branch for details.
All good things must come to an end. The Tribe's win streak is over, but the Oakland A's are coming to town for a 4-game series starting tomorrow. So we'll be back at it tomorrow night.